Dungeons & Dragons: Shadow over Mystara hit US arcades in 1996. The game was published and developed by Capcom. The arcade is a direct sequel to Dungeons & Dragons Towers of Doom, which was released in 1993. Its sequel greatly expanded on the graphics and design of its predecessor. The game was a side-scrolling beat-em-up that featured 6 playable characters: Cleric, Dwarf, Elf, Fighter, Thief, and Magic User. Now I say characters because even though this is a D&D game, Elf and Dwarf aren't classes, they're races in D&D. And sorry, Magic User? What the I guess Wizard and Mage were copyrighted or something. This is the stuff I question.
Get those nerds! Nerd! Nerd!
The game could support up to 4 players, and gamers could select only 2 of the same characters, so you couldn't have all 4 of the same class. Each character had a defined role and playstyle, just like in the D&D tabletop game. Each one had unique abilities that only belonged to them. For example, the Cleric could turn undead, heal, and buff other characters, while the Thief could disarm traps, open lock chests, double jump, and roll around the screen much faster than any other character. Now the game isn't a simple beat 'em up by any means. When compared to other classic arcade games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Alien vs. Predator, D&D Shadow of Mystara was a complicated game. Each player had 4 buttons to work with: attack, jump, select, and use. The attack button wasn't just a simple auto combo spam fest either. Each character had a special moveset, similar to that of a fighting game. Entering a certain number of combinations of the buttons and joystick inputs would result in different special attacks and combos. Still with me?
Everybody getting this so far?
The game also featured a loot system, stuff like temporary armor upgrades that lasted depending on how much damage you took, one-use magical items, and one-use throwable weapons like spears and firebombs, and of course health, gold, etc. The game also had an XP and level up system in place. As you leveled up, you hit harder, gained more health, more abilities. Certain items were of course limited to your character, like the Thief, who couldn't use shields. You could also name your character whatever you wanted. There was also a glitch in the early version of the cabinet. At the part where you typed in your name, if you made a space and then inputted a long string of the same letter, the game would give you very powerful items at the start. This was patched in revision 2 of the arcade game. There's a loose story in the game, of course, and each character had multiple endings depending on the class and weapon used. And even some items, if they were in your inventory, would give you a different ending. Like I said several times, the game was incredibly complicated. As an adult now, with access to the internet, the game seems straightforward. But as a 13-year-old kid who's used to playing the Simpsons arcade game, this game was a nightmare to figure out.
Oh, God. Oh. God. Oh, God. Enough! Do you want my head to explode? In the name of all that is good and decent, no more for today!
In 1999, Capcom released the Dungeons & Dragons collection for the Sega Saturn in Japan only. Then, in 2013, Capcom released Dungeons & Dragons Chronicles of Mystara, which was a remaster of both the games on PC, Xbox, Nintendo eShop, and PSN. Have a request for an arcade corner? Tweet me and include #ArcadeCorner. For more videos like this and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com. It's no joke, dude. The game was hard. I couldn't figure out how to do anything, honestly. I would just hit buttons. Next time on Shaq's Arcade Corner.